Many developers I meet don't actually know what a technical coach is. So sometimes they ask me, so what is the difference between a technical coach and an agile coach? What is it you actually do? In this video, I'm going to explain the Agile Coach Competency Framework and what technical coaches do that is different from other coaches. Hi, I'm Emily Bache and I work as a technical coach. I even wrote a book about it, Technical Agile Coaching with the Samman method. This is my channel, and if you like what you see here, please subscribe and hit like. You can also support my work via Patreon. Long before I created the Samman method, in fact, since the very beginning of Agile, there were Agile coaches. I believe Ron Jeffries was one of the first, as he was the coach for the original C3 project. He worked with Kent Beck and Martin Fowler and others as they created extreme programming back in the 1990s, which was one of the very first Agile methods. Agile coaches work with individuals, teams, and organizations to help them to become more agile. And for that to happen, you need to make quite a few changes in different areas. Many of the early Agile coaches, like Ron Jeffries, worked with all aspects of Agile. The process and the way of working and the products and what to build, but also the technical practices, how the code is written and deployed. Quite quickly though, coaches have started to specialize. In 2011, Lissa Adkins and Michael Spade created the Agile Coach Competency Framework to explain how they understand Agile coaching as a job. It's sometimes described as the X-wing diagram because of the shape of it. Right at the top there, you've got Agile Lean Practitioner. And that's your background, your previous experience. Because before you can coach something, you need to have done it yourself. A technical coach will have worked in software delivery projects before they started coaching. At the bottom of the diagram, you have 3 competency areas. That's the expertise that you bring with you. All coaches should understand the basics of all 3 areas, but most will probably specialize in only one. My focus is on the technical side of software development. I could try and coach you in business and transformation, but honestly, you should hire someone else to coach those parts. My expertise is actually quite different from that, and I like to work with people who cover those parts. In fact, I work with some really great people who are expert in those things, and I find that there's quite a lot of differences in the specifics of what we're working on, but there's actually a lot that we have in common about the way that we work. And that's the other parts of this diagram, the sides in the X-wing. Those are the activities or stances that a coach uses during their daily work. 4 approaches to encouraging change in an organization, a team, or an individual. I'll go through them. Teaching. You've all been to school. You know what a teacher does. Well, I mean a good teacher. This is about the ability to bring in new knowledge, new ideas, new skills, and do it in a relevant way so people can grasp it and start to use it in their situation. Mentoring is pretty similar to teaching, but it's more personal and directed. When you're mentoring someone, you're encouraging them and guiding them specifically, tailoring the teaching directly to their situation and adapting based on how they react. Facilitating and professional coaching sit on the other side of the diagram because these stances have a different nature. You're supposed to be neutral as to the outcome. You're not trying to get people to learn or do something particular. You're trying to create a space with possibilities for them to grow and succeed. You facilitate, you ask the right questions, you set up the right social environment so people can achieve the goals that they have set. Facilitating is probably a word you've heard before, as with coaching, but here it actually says professional coaching, because in this context it means something quite specific. In essence, it's about helping a person to move to a desired future state using structured conversations and powerful questions. It's actually a whole profession in its own right. Unlike an individual contributor or a team lead, if you work as a technical coach, you don't usually produce code yourself. You're using all of those more indirect methods to influence the code that gets written. And in some ways, it's much harder than just writing the code yourself. A lot of coaching work happens while you're pair programming or ensemble working. You don't often get your hands on the keyboard. You achieve your goals by facilitating and mentoring and teaching. It's actually quite a different skill set compared with being a programmer. However, you do still need your coding skills. When I'm coaching, I'm working with people, but also with a lot of code. I need to help the teams I'm coaching with how to get their design to evolve, how to keep the tests passing, how to get the code into production frequently, how we can ensure code quality so you can keep adding functionality incrementally, iteratively, indefinitely. All of that fun stuff. Technical coaching is a career option that's fairly similar to other kinds of agile coaches. You're aiming to make a wider impact on more people in an organisation than you could as an individual contributor on a development team. The main difference is that alongside a bunch of people skills, you're also using your expertise with software development, and you continue to write code. If you like the idea of doing some technical coaching, you're in the right place. This channel is all about supporting developers who want to get started with technical coaching. Take a look around. I hope that, like me, you'll discover it's a really fun and rewarding way to work.